The Fargone Podcast, presented by This Is Coffee. Premium instant coffee meant to be enjoyed outside. Get yours at thisiscoffee.ca. Alrighty, dude. Another episode of the Fargone Podcast. We're back, Reece. We're back, dude. How are things?
They're doing really well. Spring's starting to come around the corner, and except for snow coming in for May long weekend, but other than that, Alberta's heading the right direction when it comes to summer.
Yeah, man, dude, big time, dude. Are you set up fully in Alberta now? Are you like locked and loaded, and you're an Albertan, or what's the deal?
I'm an Albertan. I just got to mess around. Actually, the plan is this weekend to kind of mess around with get everything finalized with seeing about hunting in Alberta and stuff like that. Had a couple bears on the ranch the other day, so need to
Heck yeah.
start getting the licenses all in ordered, and actually super lucky too. Just basically right next to the bunkhouse there's like a 1,000-yard range with plates already sitting there waiting for me.
No way, dude. That's awesome. Dude, so you're going to be a freaking long shooter locked in. Not that you already weren't, but now you really are going to have that rifle program dialed.
Yeah, should be lots of good practice there. I've got that little short 308 that I still have lots of playing around to do with, but no, I'm stoked.
Dude, because that was a newer rifle for you, right? Didn't you just pick that thing up last year? Or?
Yeah, I picked it up last year, so it's a Remington Model 7 308 Bottomlands edition. And so it's got a
Okay.
16 and a half inch barrel. And
Yeah.
without a scope, it's like just under 7 pounds.
Hmm.
So cool, like whippy little gun.
Yeah.
Nice to carry around. I kind of put a bigger scope on it just because that's kind of just how it worked out. I already had one and just slapped it on. I'd probably go to something a little bit smaller, like a loophole or something. But for now, it works pretty well. And seems to shoot nice, like sub MOA, no problem at 100 yards, and so
Hmm.
we'll
Sick.
uh we'll push it out there and see how it does this summer.
Dude, I love it, man. Yeah, definitely. Dude, you have no excuse but to be freaking dialed on that thing. So
Definitely not.
dude, I love it, man. And then other than that, dude, how's the Alberta lifestyle? How's the transition been? Obviously, like, dude, Alberta and BC are so similar just because we share a freaking border. But I also think too, I feel like some people are a little bit different in Alberta in the sense of just like maybe they're a little nicer, maybe they got a little bit more disposable cash, so they like to get up to some fun things. How have you kind of experienced that side of things so far?
Well, this is definitely the land of disposable income for some,
Yeah, yeah,
definitely. But
for some, for sure.
yeah, it's just I don't know. It's similar to BC. If you just didn't include the like the Vancouver and Kelowna vibe, everything else is pretty much the same.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love it, man. I love it. Dude, we were just out there last week actually for a snow geese hunt, dude. And it
Yeah, how'd that
was,
work out?
oh, it was incredible. I've never hunted in Alberta before, so that was a first for me. Uh, Obviously, waterfowl is a little bit different than if I was trying to head out and do some big game. Long story short, Lauren ended up inviting us, or Lauren Trousdale, and he had some sort of connection to this gentleman named John. And somehow he's like, "Hey, do you guys want to come on out snow geese hunting?" And we're like, "Dude, that sounds like an absolute blast." We kind of had something with us, like we were supposed to do that sailing spring bear trip again, and then the boat ended up having some issues and having to get pulled from the water. So we were just kind of like, "Okay, we have these windows. What are we gonna do?" Trying to figure that out. And especially after that sailing trip, I'm like, do I want to go chase bears in the mountain, or do I want to go? And I probably still will like get a day or two in the mountains. But this snow geese hunt just kind of came out of the blue, and we're like, let's go and experience it. And dude, they got different programs out there, at least from what I've experienced out here in BC, and even down to like, first and foremost, you drive into Alberta, right? We had a crew of 4 guys and met up with this guy John and a couple of his buddies. And dude, you come into Alberta and it's like you get through Calgary, all these different spots, or we're up north a little bit more from where you are. But the amount of birds you just start picking up after you pass through those mountains is unreal. Like, and I'm like, dude, I've loved waterfowl hunting in BC, but I'm like, dude, I've never experienced anything like that of just seeing so many birds flying and being like, holy crap, like we're gonna hunt those? Is that actually like, is this proper or is this out of a movie, man? So get on out there and dude, we had dude on the first time seeing like a flock of like 1,000 birds, the excitement was just through the freaking roof, dude. It was incredible. And then obviously you get in and you figure out your programs. We meet up with John and he's got it pretty dialed in regards to like his spots and all this different stuff too, right? And we were along for the ride. Like we weren't doing much here at all. Um, but dude, you get on out there and even down to like the gear, man. He pulls up with his cargo trailer just filled. And it's like, okay, we got however many hundreds of decoys. Let's chuck them on out there, and they're all doing their thing and the whole nines. Set up your blind. Like it's a program, takes an hour and a half to set up, which obviously we've done some of that here in BC, but not to that extent by any means. And it's like, he set up and then he's sit and wait, dude. And then all of a sudden you just see these freaking flocks of geese. And it's cool too, because I feel like in BC waterfowl hunting, like a lot of the hunting that I've done is either been on the ocean, or like kind of like in some more of kind of in the Abbotsford area where you're very much like in funnels of mountains, right? So like you kind of set up close to the flyway and kind of like you see some guys come in and do that. And they're like flocks maybe like on a good flock is called like 30 to 50 type of thing. And you're like, holy crap, what are we doing? But these guys, dude, you can like, I almost was thinking about bringing binos out because you can see them like 10 kilometers away type of thing and be like, whoa, dude, that field looks like it's just filled with the ocean, even though you're in freaking landlocked Alberta. And these things, dude, you can just see them and you just kind of sit and wait. Then all of a sudden you see they start picking up and you're like, oh, holy crap. And they're coming over to your way and you're like, what the heck? And then all of a sudden, dude, they're flying, man, and they're coming in and they're hot and heavy. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I guess we're shooting these things. And dude, it was unreal. And chatting with like we left with 100 birds, which we
Okay.
were just shy of 100. And when you chat to the Albertans, they're like, yeah, that was okay hunting. And I'm like, dude, like being in my BC world, I'm like, this is the most insane thing we've ever experienced. We were there for 2 days and we went home with just shy of 100 birds. Like, this is insane. And all the Albertans are like, yeah, not really that good. Like, it's like, okay hunting. And dude, it's just wild. The differences of programs, like I said, from the beginning of the gear to the cargo trailers to like the whole setup program to everything. And then just the amount of freaking snow geese that are flying. It was unreal to experience, dude. So I want to come back. You're living
That's
in the
sweet.
land, dude. You got to get that
I
cargo
would
trailer
definitely
rolling now that you're living out there, dude.
yeah, no, I'll have to start messing around with the bird side of things too. Although, like, man, it's crazy the amount of turkeys around
Hmm.
the ranch. Oh my
Oh
gosh,
yeah.
they're everywhere.
Dude,
And
are you
but
getting
like Alberta's been doing a pretty big program to get the turkeys back, or maybe not back, but get their numbers up. Because it's really hard to pull a draw. Like it's like turkey down here is in a draw, and I think from what I was hearing from some of my buddies, it's like 10 years to pull
really?
that. Yeah, and I'm out
No
here seeing
way.
like I don't know 8 to 10 toms a day from the road.
Yeah,
Like I
dude,
was
that's
driving down
wild.
early this morning, and there was
Mm,
4 toms just like totally puffed out, just like
doing
you
their
know,
thing.
doing their thing.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Have you ever done any turkey hunting, like, out in BC or anything, or is that
No,
new
I've
territory?
other than like running out of the back or grabbing the shotgun out of the truck, running into the bush after some turkey you saw run away, but that's about
Yeah,
it. Or
exactly.
well, actually, my dad and I did a little bit, but we didn't have any success, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
I have some
Dude, it
buddies that both my buddies from BC there that were bird hunting, got birds on like opening day.
hmm, good for
Yeah.
them. That's awesome. Dude, I've heard that it's a good time. Like, obviously, you look in the States and stuff, and it's like, man, these guys, it almost feels like their life. Like it's like, dude, like and maybe it's just Instagram that's telling me this, but it's like some dudes, I swear they view it as like they're elk hunting. like, they just get so excited for it. It's like the whole thing. I've never experienced it, and I feel like being in British Columbia and having elk hunting right there, it's like it's hard to be like, "Oh, I have a hard time seeing how people get that excited about these turkeys." But dude, maybe they do. It's also a completely different season, something else to get up to, and maybe I just have to go and experience it. But yeah, like there's lots of people, dude, that swear by turkey hunting, and they're like, dude, this is like it's everything. It's a freaking blast. It's like all from obviously turkey tastes great, all this stuff, but then even just like the whole experience of getting something in there and doing the whole thing, right? So it seems cool. Seems cool. But 10 years for a draw, that's pretty hectic.
That's a that's a big weight for sure when you can go across. Honestly, I'd probably just look into doing like or like a hosted hunt with my buddy out in BC if I was going to do
Yeah.
that. Probably.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not too. I know there's some restrictions on species and stuff like that, so I'm not 100% sure if turkeys would be involved, but I would assume they would be, considering how, you know, open our seasons are out in BC for turkeys.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. Dude, you just gotta get in the snow geese program. I don't know what to tell you.
But that definitely the volume there. You're so okay. So how many Yetis did you need for 100 snow geese?
We brought 3 out. We brought 3 out. Yeah.
Three
Yeah.
250s or 300s?
We brought one, I think they're like 2, and then a couple like hundreds. So, not as much, right? So, but you're yeah, like
Talking like
there's a whole
four to
thing with it.
500 liters of cooler,
We
600
brought
liters of
back
cooler.
like at the butcher, it's just shy of 80 pounds of meat, which we were pretty
Wow,
happy on.
that's not
Which
too
you're like,
bad.
"Dude, that's great." So and that's obviously cleaned and everything like that, right? So, like that's at the butcher and doing the whole 9. So, but dude, still, I'm like, "Dude, it's just a blast, man." Like like, I love waterfowl hunting in British Columbia. It was the first thing that got me into hunting was waterfowl hunting, and specifically ducks and doing this whole thing, right? And I love the experience too. I love getting out on the boat and doing the whole 9s. Or in obviously the older I've gotten, I've had more field hunting opportunities and things like this, kind of in regards to like the Chilliwack area and all of that. But it's just something different about the vastness amount of freaking birds that are flying and like how they pick up and how they drop off. And it's like, it's literally things that we've dreamed about. And I'm not like a crazy successful waterfowl hunter by any means, dude. I'm very much a rookie, but it is the first thing that I cut my teeth on. And it's like, we would always talk about in the blind, me and my buddies will be like, dude, could you imagine if just like 100 geese landed? And then you look on over, dude, and you get into Alberta, and it's literally like 1,000 that are circling you and like got your freaking spread pinpointed. And they're like, dude, like we're gonna land right here. We're gonna do it. And it's like, dude, things that you freaking dream of. So I don't know, man. It was wild. And from the meat perspective too, like 80 pounds of meat, dude, that's like it's a deer. So get that get that into the freezer and get it all made up there. So yeah, man, like I said, you being in Alberta, you got to do it. But holy, is it a program? Just strictly
Yeah, that's the
because.
problem. I was literally thinking, I'm like, man, I don't even know if I have space for decoys at the house right now.
And dude, and you talk to these guys that are serious about it, and like I said, he pulls up with a like probably like a 14-foot cargo, and it's like slam, just decoys. It's so set up with blinds, the whole 9s, everything like that. Um, and then you chat with him and you're like, "So how much are those decoys?" "Oh yeah, I've probably spent around like 30 grand on those decoys." And then like you chat about like the whole trailer and everything like that too. And you're like, "Oh, crazy." He's like, "Yeah, and this is my snow geese setup. Like I have 4 of these trailers and it's all for different species of birds." And I'm like, dude, I might need to we might need to sell some more optics through Fargone Outfitters before the boys are buying some
I tell
buying
you
some
what,
geese trailers.
that makes the jet boat purchase see a lot more economical going up north for those sheep hunts.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Yeah, the jet boat, dude, seems like a little like knock in the yeah, a little notch compared to what these guys are doing. And then even too, man, like you're chatting ammo and stuff like this, and he's like, "Oh, I buy my ammo like on pallets." And I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, like, I'm like, "So how much when was the last time you spent ammo?" Like, he's like, "Oh, I probably buy it, like, quarterly or something." I'm like, "Okay. So, like, you buy it on a pallet, how much does that cost?" He's like, "Oh, I typically pay around, like, 5 grand a pop." I'm like, "Dude, so you're, like, 20 grand a year in ammo here." Like, it's wild. But frick, dude, like I said, if you have connections or know anybody that's into it, it's like an absolute must, dude. And it's like I said, it's having that fascination with birds and experiencing those things and seeing all the videos in the States of all these things happen, feel like, oh, like, I don't know if it really happens in Canada. It freaking happens in Canada and it happens in Alberta. And everyone should go and experience it, whether you find a guide or find some sort of connection or do it yourself some way or do these different things. It's like, it's an absolute blast, and I think everyone needs to experience it. And Reese, you should start door knocking on some buddies' houses or something living out there now and make that a normal thing, dude, because it is way too much freaking fun not to.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I got some buddies around here that dabble in the ducks a bit, so we'll definitely be getting out at some point.
Definitely. Yeah, I wonder what the duck hunting's like. Like I said, I just feel like I don't know much about it at all. Like this snow geese hunt, we were kind of just like I said, Lauren gave us that invite and we headed on out and we really didn't know much about it. But I wonder what like duck hunting and everything like that looks like out there. Like you see lots of videos and it looks just as insane. But I'm like, I wonder what it would be like if it's a similar program, if you can kind of do it a little bit more DIY, way smaller spread just on a buddy's field type of thing like that too, right? So, why don't you go do some recon and let us know here on the next podcast?
Oh yeah, for that definitely we'll have to get some stuff sorted out for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, dude, I love it, man. I love it. But yeah, dude, that's the snow geese experience. So I'm on a high still, as you can tell. And like I said, according to the Albertans, that was very slow hunt, or they said it was like mediocre hunting was their thing. I was like, it's okay. Like, dude, this is unreal. It's unreal.
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
so
and a ton of fun.
what have you been doing on the ranch? Have you like obviously so how long have you been a proper Albertan for now? It's only a couple weeks here, eh?
Well, technically no, because it kind of backdates. So like I technically moved to Alberta in January, and then like I moved here and then pieced out for basically 3 months for skiing. And then when I came back at the end of March, I was able to get like my health card and everything right away because
Yeah,
it backdated it. Um,
cool.
so that's no problem. But like, yeah, technically since January, I've been an Albertan and down at the ranch, we've been doctoring a lot of yearlings. We're dealing with pink eye pretty bad right now,
Mm,
unfortunately, but
shoot.
um it's just busy, which is fine, but it's sweet. Like the guys are out there roping them and healing them in the fields,
Mm,
and yeah, the other day I was roping with the dummy with Buck, so that's sweet, and getting lots of
sick.
riding with him and the other horse there, and yeah, so pretty much I just almost riding every day, and you know working on those horses, working on myself a little bit, and then last few days we've done a whole bunch of fencing
Cool.
and hotline work, so we're getting ready to move the cows up to kind of the summer grazing areas. So that'll be this next kind of back half of the month here.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of been about that. It's just like prep for that. Once they're out there, they're kind of just out there, sort of deal. So, um, but fortunately, yeah, it's nothing crazy going on. We don't have like a farming side to our ranch or anything
Mm,
like that. We don't do any hay production or anything. So yeah, it's just managing cattle and stuff like that, and then working with those horses, and yeah, no, it's been pretty chill, but nice, but also really busy. Like I was skiing for a week at Sunshine
oh,
the
yeah.
week prior, so that was good. Got like the last week of training in, and then this week was like fitness testing and stuff like that, kind of like post season, and then we do it as well preseason in the fall. So getting that all sorted out. The house is pretty much in order, and just kind of trying to get into a routine. And then yeah, this weekend I got it written down. I'm gonna get everything set up, hunting side of things.
Cool. Dude,
Yeah.
I love it. I love that that's the priority too. It's like, okay, now that the house is figured out, hunting's next.
Yeah, well, I've got a pretty sweet freezer here, and there's a lot of BC moose out here that I that I brought. So
Yeah.
definitely haven't been like being like, oh, I need to chase some stuff. And actually, one of my roommates there, he went and did a stag up
Okay.
in northern, well, not really northern Alberta. I think it's actually technically south of Edmonton, but north of me.
Yeah.
And they went hog hunting at one of those
No way.
kind of fenced areas. It's kind of a weird situation because I think they're almost trying to, I think the government wants them to get rid of it. So they're
Yeah.
actually, they technically get bounties on their own hogs that they own, but I think they can't reproduce them. So they're selling hunts, getting bounties as well. So they went out there, dropped a couple hogs. So we've got hopefully just under 100 pounds
Okay.
of pig meat coming in. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to give that a try.
Dude, heck yeah. Dude, I didn't even know. So it's how did those hogs get there then? Like they're cage, like high fence type of thing, or what does that all
Mhm.
look like? I haven't even heard of that. And
Yeah,
they
it's
brought
high
them in
fence
just
like
for the
Texas.
sport of it, right? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like it was high fence for like Texas style. They're all like those Russian boars that are kind of like gray and
yeah,
razorback looking.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Dude,
and
it
like
makes
there's
sense
a
that the
few
government
state.
doesn't want those things getting out, eh?
Well, like if you look at a map of where there have been sightings of feral pigs in Canada and stuff, it's pretty much all in those areas. They're all
Yeah,
escapees and stuff like that.
yeah.
Sometimes they're like escapees from normal farms and that kind
Mhm.
of thing, but like these guys they're definitely contributing, but like it's not going to happen like what happened in Texas. I don't think it could ever work that way, just
Mm.
with the predators we have and
Yeah,
stuff
that's a
like
good
that.
point.
And the funny thing down in Texas in the states there is like the hog problem was like a bit of an issue,
Mhm.
and then they went and put a bounty in a couple states, and then the hog issue went everywhere
Yeah,
because everybody wants to get the bounty is
yeah.
my thinking, right? Like
Huh, yeah.
otherwise, so um yeah, they're out there feeding them and stuff like that. I know there's guys trapping them, but when the trap is open and they're feeding them, they're getting fed. And then like out here we've got black bears, grizzly bears, wolves, coyotes, cougars, like all those things be
Oh my.
pulling down pigs, not to mention everybody driving around with a 30-30 or 308 in the back of their truck.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Yeah, it's interesting, man. It's a cool thing. I think it's a there's lots of things with it. It's like, yeah, obviously it's a great sport opportunity and obviously the great meat and all this different stuff too, and it is cool. But yeah, I would agree with you that I would have a hard time thinking that it would get to that same point just based on the amount of predators that we have out here. That being said, I know nothing about hogs. So like, hey, don't quote me on that, but I'm like, hey, I would have a hard time thinking that they would run as rampant as they do in some zones of the states, right? So
You'd like to hope not, at least.
I know it's
but
true. It's true.
but yeah, no, it's pretty good. And then also kind of interested, I know Alberta actually does have some sort of a grizzly program too.
Okay. What does
I'm
that
not
look
sure
like?
exactly what it looks like, but from what I've heard, it's basically it's to do with problem bears.
Hmm.
So if there's a place with a problem bear,
Yeah.
what they do is you put yourself on like a registry to hunt a grizzly bear. You got your location, stuff like
Yeah.
that. If there's a bear that comes up in an area that is an issue, they'll contact someone on the registry that's local
Okay.
and give them a tag to hunt that bear,
Okay. Crazy.
which is kind
Dude,
of an
so you putting your
interesting
name on
wheel.
that registry or what?
I'll try to, but I'm sure there's a few guys around the Calgary area there. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see what happens.
You just gotta tell him, just be like, "Hey, I'm an Olympian, and think of how crazy it'd be for an Olympian to be pulling down some of these things here."
Yeah, I'm sure the internet would love to see the Olympic rings and a grizzly bear dead
Yeah,
with me gripping and grinning on the internet.
exactly, dude. They would love that, man. They would freaking love it. Oh, so good. Do you been doing any fishing at all?
No, no fishing. Like honestly, like we're like I was looking at the Highwood there. It's an absolute mudslide right now.
Mm, yeah,
So definitely no fishing in most of the creeks right now. They like you couldn't see your hand in front of your face, sort of deal. But
crazy. Yeah,
hopefully once we get past freshet and stuff, and it'll clear out. I know the Highwood's known for being really good for fishing and stuff, and that's kind of where we're close to with the
yeah,
ranch there. I've seen guys going down there fly fishing, but yeah, we'll see if we get out and stuff like that. I honestly don't fish that much, and
yeah.
I'm pretty busy to have that kind of time, but we'll see. Usually, if I have the jet boat out and we're either going for a rip or going hunting, there'll be a rod in the boat, and that's kind of where the fishing is. Although, actually, I have done some fishing. I just forgot. We were fishing on the Shuswap there with
Oh,
a
heck
buddy of
yeah.
mine, and actually got it was a pretty slow start to the day, but got into some pretty good rainbows. That was sweet.
Sick, dude. Heck yeah. That's a blast, eh?
Yeah,
What
no,
type of
it was
program does
fun.
he have up there? Because you guys are out on the boat and doing it, I feel like there's such a variance of guys that fish kind of in the Okanagan area, and, like, some dudes do the whole thing where they're chucking downriggers on and doing the whole thing, kinda like as if they were fishing, like, for coho or something in the ocean, and then some dudes obviously, like, are in the rivers, and some dudes are still water, right? So it's, there's so many different ways kind of in that area. What's your buddy's kinda program?
So, bit of a plug here for Mitch. So, Mitch and his family own Sea Dog boat rentals or boat
Okay.
sales
Oh, yeah.
in Sycamoose, and
I
then
was
he
just
they
gonna say that's
also
how the
do
chicken.
yeah. Then he also does guiding as well, and so basically they've got a 21-foot boat that they go out there and do. It's mostly like downrigger style stuff
Yeah,
for
yeah.
in the lake, and yeah, he's got it pretty dialed. Like almost
Mm,
every time we go out, we get into some decent fish, and
heck yeah.
yeah, no, it was a good time for sure.
Dude, I love it. I love it. Yeah, we've been getting some lines wet over here lately too.
I
Mostly
saw
on,
that.
yeah, doing some stuff in regards to, dude, just ice off still water, right? Or I guess it's not really ice off anymore, but dude, that's like, that just has my heart in so many different ways, and I'm not good at it, but frick, I have a fun time, and it's like once you get into some yeah, some rainbows and doing the whole thing, and you get into, like, little pockets or whatever, and you figure out what they're eating, and you match the hatch or do whatever, it's like, it's such a blast, dude. It's such a blast, and it's like, man, like, I understand why people get addicted to it. Maybe that's the same thing that people feel with freaking turkey hunting, I don't know. Haven't experienced it yet, but, dude, it's such a good time. So, yeah, yeah. I I think there's gotta be a pretty decent stillwater presence up in Alberta too, isn't there? Or is it mostly just everything on the river?
I say mostly on the river.
Yeah.
You know, I could be wrong. Obviously, where there is like lakes and stuff like that, they have we have got like walleye and stuff like that. Um, just thinking back to when my brother was in Lethbridge and fishing, but yeah, catching walleye and that sort of deal on the Stillwater stuff. And then I think yeah, like all the fly fishing guys are on the rivers or they go down to like the Fernie Sparwood area and fish the
Mm,
elk and stuff
yeah.
like that, um, which is really good country. But for me, it's I have a tough time not bringing something home.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm not a catch and release guy. If I'm catching fish, I wanna eat it.
Yeah, it's so true, man. It's so true. But hey, dude, honestly, whenever I'm in a retention lake with those rainbows, I'm bringing them home.
Yeah,
Those things
no,
are
it's pretty
coming, like,
sweet.
yeah, those
But
things
yeah,
are coming.
it's definitely to my knowledge, man, I think the Merritt, Kamloops, Shuswap area, that triangle there, I think that's probably the best stillwater fishing around when it
Mm,
comes to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if it gets better than that.
Yeah, dude, it is true. It is true. But dude, speaking of catch and release fishing, we were actually out on the sturgeon boat the other day too with
Yeah, I
our
saw
good
that.
friend Kevin from or another plug there from Sturgeon Slayers. But dude, he actually sent me something really cool after, which I thought was a blast. And Kevin's just been a great guy. I actually produced the fishing show for his wife and their kids for a bunch of years. So traveled around with them a bunch and just like an old friend. And it was good to get back out on the water with him. But dude, we caught maybe like 3 or 4 sturgeon, and Kevin's been like really a big part of like spearheading the tagging program and a lot of different things like that. And it's been cool though, dude, because he sent me over some statistics after that I thought was super interesting. And long story short, he's like, okay, this was his text message after. He's like, that first 7 he had yesterday was tagged in 2001, and hasn't been seen since 2007. Grew from 134 centimeters to 225, which is pretty crazy, dude. Like the fact, like that's 19 years or whatever, and like the fact that they're able to start getting some of this data here, and it's an interesting one. It's like I'm very much on the same thought with you, where I'm like, if I'm putting a line in the water, I want to be able to put that thing on my dinner table. Like that's the thing that I've always felt strongly on. But sturgeon fishing, and we've been out sturgeon fishing with Eves and stuff before too. It's like it's really interesting. But sturgeon fishing is like, from my knowledge, um, seems like one of the only fisheries in the world where you actually get to like partake in conservation from sport fishing, which I think is pretty cool. And getting data like that and stuff has been a blast. So yeah, that's my little hint on sturgeon fishing there. That's what we've been
Yeah,
up to.
sturgeon fishing is my one mulligan when it comes to catch and release. I love sturgeon fishing.
Yeah, you like it, eh?
Oh yeah, I love sturgeon fishing. Like I don't I definitely am not a fisherman, but man, if we're chasing sturgeon,
Yeah.
I am stoked.
Yeah. Dude, well, they're just freaking like or however small they get to. Dude, frick, man. Like 10-foot sturgeon are kicking around there and not like abnormal for people to catch, you know? Like that's wild. Like a 10-foot freaking fish hanging out in the freaking Fraser that you got to be a part of the conservation of by catching that thing. I'm like, dude, that's pretty wild, that opportunity right there. And dude, they fight. They fight real good, and then they get into some of those like flows with the river, and then they're gone, and you're just hanging on for the freaking ride, dude. So it is a blast, man. It is a blast. I still am gonna take stillwater fishing 9 times out of 10 over sturgeon fishing, but it is a good time. Oh, dude, I love it. So how many heads of cattle are you guys doing out in Alberta there?
We've got just over 400 yearling steers,
Hmm.
and so we do basically it's called backgrounding. So we get steers that usually come out of like a feedlot or something like that, and that's kind of why we have to deal with like the pink eye deal because there's so many cattle together that they get diseases and stuff like that. But pink eye isn't really a super bad one. Like they don't die from pink eye, but if left untreated, it'll make them go blind, and then
Yeah.
you'll get docked at the stockyards and on the sale at the end. So doesn't affect the meat, but it is part of it. Um, so yeah, basically we got just over 400, and we'll split them up between. We'll send 250 up to like kind of the mountain grazing area that we have, and then we've got a section just a little south, closer to the Bar U there,
Okay.
and we'll have 150 on that.
Well, there you go, dude. Yeah. And then how much of your time right now in regards to the ranching, like obviously you're pushing hard in regards to, because you, like you said, you have the pink eye stuff and all these different things. But what's the split gonna look like? Because obviously a lot of the stuff that you're doing kind of back here in BC was more on the training side for the horses, right? And then obviously now being a part of a larger kind of cattle operation too. What is your split gonna look like, kind of, I guess, throughout this summer season here for yourself?
Yeah, so like pretty much um this year the big plan is to kind of improve my own riding a lot. So
Yeah.
spending a lot less time, starting new horses and more focused on buck and chip. He's that Appaloosa that I was working with last year, so he's mine now. And so I have those two horses and just kind of bringing them through like the fundamental stages and then into where they're getting them into like, well, Buck's already a ranch horse, but getting him to where he can rope and doctor cattle, and
Mm,
then also to where I can do that as well is
yeah,
kind of the goal. And so like at the moment, I either like squeeze in riding both those horses in the morning or in the afternoons. And then if there's work to get done, I do that, vice versa. Like I said before, we don't have a ton of stuff going on. Um, like we'll go out and then I'll also like when we are out doctoring cattle, like that's like I'm riding buck and he's getting good miles
yeah.
in and that's perfect. So, that's kind of killing two birds with one stone. And then yeah, then other than that, it's like I said, once we get them in the grazing lease, I'll probably move the horses up to cow camp
Mhm.
and then do a lot more kind of like longer rides into the back country there, kind of checking cows and stuff like that. Probably we'll do some overnights and maybe some packing.
Heck
Just
yeah.
today there, I took Buck out and then ponied the Appaloosa behind him with the saddle on him, and so he'd never
Cool.
done that before, and wasn't a big deal at all. But
Yeah.
just kind of like taking those stepping stones, and then next time I work with him, I've got that soft panniard bag that goes over top of a saddle. I'll probably get him sacked out to that and used to that, and then that'll be good. And then I'll probably borrow some feed bags or grain bags and put a feed bag in both sides, then go
Heck
ride
yeah.
him out and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. We've got about and it's about 8 miles between the main ranch headquarters and cow camp,
Okay.
and it's an absolute gorgeous ride.
Hmm.
Gorgeous ride. So I've already ridden down there with Buck before, so probably will ride them through there a little bit
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And it's not too bad. It's like depending on like if you walk the whole way, it'd probably be like 2.5 hours.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you trot most of it, you're like an hour 45, hour 30 kind of thing.
Heck yeah.
So it's pretty
Dude,
darn good. But
I love it. I love it. Dude, well, frick, man, I gotta get out to Alberta here and, see what program you got going on, dude. It was cool coming up to your BC program and seeing everything like that, right? But, dude, Alberta, it just sounds like you're doing it bigger.
100%, like I'm really, it's really paying off the move. Like, I mean, I know like people ask me, do you miss it and stuff like that. And it's like, not at all. I know
Mm,
I'm exactly where I need to be. It's great for training. House is working out good, and it's great for ranching. Like, it's really cool. Like the other day, the this coming week, like we're working with a ton of like really handy cowboys, and so much knowledge that I can pull from these guys. And no, I'm in the right place and learning lots and getting better every day. So I'm stoked.
dude, I love it, man. I love it. And dude, you're coming back to BC here, or at least I'm looking in my calendar. You're coming back. Were you getting up to something in Chilliwack here? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, and like part of that week or this weekend, getting all the hunting things sorted is I'll also look into the host deal there to see if we can get a host on that little black bear excursion that we got planned.
Dude, yeah, we should definitely make that one happen. Let me
But
know
like
what
it's
I
looking
gotta do,
good.
dude.
Well, like you tell me what are the mountains looking like right now when it comes to snow? Like I'm pretty sure they're melting out pretty good for you guys, right?
Yeah. No, dude, yeah, it's I'm a little nervous in regards to, like, kinda what, like, the late summer is gonna look like type of thing, but for bear hunting right now, I'd expect critters to be working their way up pretty good. Yeah, we don't got a crazy amount of snow, I'm just looking out right now, like, I think most of it's pretty gone on some of the main peaks, right? So, and there's lots of bears starting to kick around too, so,
Awesome.
dude,
Well, I'm really
we'll
excited.
have a blast.
Well, because there's two options at that spot. So, like, I guarantee you, you are going to be surprised by how much snow is on the north face of that
Yeah, I
mountain.
know.
And
Yeah.
there's always more than you think, but no, the south side is good, and we might be able to get into the back, which be be a little burly, but it'll be cool. And I've always wanted to hunt there because from the
Mm,
top I've glassed back into there,
yeah.
and I've just seen some monsters. And
Oh
just
my gosh.
even more so, it's just monster country. Like it'd be such a stud move to go and pull a bear out of there. Kind of a stupid move, but
Yeah.
really cool.
Dude, I love it, man. I freaking love it. So, dude, well, let's try to make it happen. So, yeah, I got to figure out if I want to pull the rifle out or just do it with the old bow. Every year I say I'm going to like pull the rifle out. And here's an example of how much I talk about that. I put a new scope on my gun 2 years ago and I still haven't even sighted that thing in. So, odds are I probably won't sight that thing in and I'll probably be bringing the old bow out. So let's make it
Honestly,
happen.
I would suggest bringing the bow out because these kind of areas really you usually are pretty you have good opportunity for stalking and stuff like that just because it's so steep
Yeah.
where you can
Yeah.
kind of get up above them and kind of hide behind the ridges of the slope and stuff and kind of get in
Exactly.
pretty close. So, and not to mention usually you can like watch somebody stalking in from like
Yeah.
across the valley or at least down the ridge or something like that.
So
So,
sick.
and then usually too when you get up into those high mountains, typically your wind is a little more consistent
Yeah, it is.
at
It is.
times, obviously not all
You
the
never
time, but
know
you
of the
don't
day, but
you like you typically don't get the full like circulation deal, and you have like
yeah.
the standard, it's going down in the morning,
Yeah.
sun comes up, starts going up over the mountain on the south facing slope, sun goes down, starts dropping again. So usually pretty
Exactly.
standard, but no, I think it'd be a ton of fun getting back in there.
Dude, well, let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen. Reese, dude, it's always great chit-chatting. I think we'll leave it at a little bit of a quicker one here today. But dude, let's definitely keep chatting in regards to that hunt because I'm right fired up.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I'm stoked and starting to get pretty dialed here. So excited to get consistent with the podcast and should be on every week for the rest of the summer at the very least.
Dude, I know we need to, man. Let's just like book in a day and just be like, okay, this is the day. This is when we do it every single time. So sorry for those listeners out that
That would be a good
experience a
idea.
little bit of the ups and downs of trying to get everything done here. But we're still working on it. And we're still cruising. So
For sure.
uh,
And like if anybody wants, shoot Nolan or shoot me, some information on if you want us to cover some sort of topics or something like that, because always open to ideas and questions and always open to like people who have questions about hunting in BC specifically that typically you see so much stuff from the states and that sort
mm,
of thing and doesn't always apply, or at least you're not sure if it applies to BC. I know when I was getting into it, I always kind of thought that I'm like, yeah, it kind of makes sense, but like it's not BC, right? It's just not the
yeah,
same. So um yeah, shoot out any thoughts and
that's a
questions and
great
we'll
call.
definitely get to them.
Dude, yeah, send them over to email them over to Kat, that's KAT at fargonemedia.com. And get any of that stuff in there. So also too, Matt's just busy, but he'll be back here eventually. He just launched his new practice Origin Health out of Kelowna, and that guy's pretty full bore with that right now. But we'll get him back when schedules kind of align and keep things going. Also, too, man, I got a list of people that want to jump on too. So maybe we'll start getting some of the guests on and doing the whole thing. But I love it, man. I'm excited for kind of what the summer looks like. And dude, we'll be ripping the pot a lot more. So we appreciate all the listeners that are just rolling with the punches and the random drops and all that stuff too. So lots going on over here. We're still just trying to figure out how to keep our heads above water and adding another thing to it, right? So I love it, Reese. Well, sweet man, dude, we'll be chatting next week. And dude, looking forward to continuing to plan this hunt. So
Perfect. Sounds good to me.
all right, dude, talk soon.